All right, guys, so thanks for coming. Thanks for Atlas and the team for having me out here and everybody filling the seats. Just enjoy the razzle dazzle while we're waiting on an adapter. You see this very nice little custom design component I put together. It's for your viewing pleasure. You're very much welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, just kind of do what I can. Thank you, dude. So one thing that spoke to me when Josh was speaking, he had mentioned talking to your homeowners about HEPA filters, right? Putting a HEPA filter on your roof with their product. And that really spoke to me because making things contextually relevant for, God, that's fine, I don't need it right now. Kaylin, making things contextually relevant for your target market is absolutely critical in order to convince them that you have the best option or the best solution for them. So show of hands, has anybody ever sold a roof where your customer said, the reason why we went with you is X, and typically that X is you did something that somebody else didn't. You talked about the ventilation and the impact that that has on my roofing system as far as the longevity. Question? Yep. Okay, no. Perfect. You know, you talked about the warranty, like what the difference was between the manufacturer warranty and a workmanship warranty. You went in the attic, you inspected my attic, and you actually told us what's going on with our roof, so we felt comfortable. So being good is good. Being different is sometimes better, right? So if you can touch on things that other people aren't speaking to, it increases the likelihood that you're gonna get that sale. So round of applause for Josh. That was a great point. Look at you, buddy. I'm proud of you. I just wanna let you know that. Yeah, we broke down again. But before we dive into who I am, what we're going to talk about today, can I ask everyone just to please rise? Come on, stand up. Shake it out, shake it out. Let's get, okay. Please be seated. Sorry, I just always wanted to do that, right? I saw it, I was watching a court show, I was like, yeah, that'd be really cool. Please be seated. So, appreciate the cooperation. If only the technology was as cooperative as you guys, we'd be cooking right now. So my name is Mike Stearns. I'm the founder of Ascend Digital Agency. I've been in the roofing marketing space for about a decade now, a little bit over. We focus on custom website design, Google Ads, SEO, and then we do some consulting as far as helping contractors get from the point of A to B to C to D. What that looks like is sometimes a contractor's at $1 million, we help them get to 10. So forth and so on, everything in between and above and beyond that. Actually, we work with a contractor here locally. We started working with them at around $250K in revenue. They're on pace to do over 20 million this year. So we do this, we do roofing, and the reason why I was so endeared that Josh reached out to me and said, Mike, would you mind coming in? I said, I would love to. 95% of my conversations with roofing contractors go something like this. Mike, we'd like to work with Ascend. Why would you like to work with Ascend? Well, we're working with a marketing agency. They promised me A, B, C, D, and E. They promised me the moon and the stars, and they showed me fucking Pawtucket, Rhode Island. And it's not working, right? Nothing wrong with Pawtucket, but it just doesn't compare to the moon and the stars. So a lot of false promises, a lot of intentionally or unintentionally misunderstood expectations. Anyone here ever have a shit experience with a marketing agency?
Every day.
Okay, well, I'm sorry to hear it. Hopefully some of the stuff that we're going to talk about today will help with that. So we're going to run down a few different things. We're going to talk about Google Business Profile, like how to get more out of your Google Business Profile, right? As far as like exposure, getting customers to engage with you guys. Some of these things are going to seem very inconsequential. But you got to understand that Google fully operates on an algorithm. When somebody looks for a roofing company near me, there's not some guy in Palo Alto that's like, you know what? I'm going to serve up Ireland, right? Or I'm going to serve up Malik Brothers. It's going to be an algorithm, right? So the small things that we do to influence the algorithm are going to compound and ultimately increase the likelihood that you get the exposure that you want, which is a homeowner in their time of need looking for a roofing company to be presented with you as an option. Follow me? Make sense? All right, fantastic. We're off to a bang up start. We're going to talk about a bulletproof review process. I don't care if you're doing $500,000 in revenue, you're doing $25 million in revenue. Most companies that I work with or have worked with in the past, They have 50 reviews, they have 100 reviews, they have 200 reviews, but they've interacted with 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 prospective or customers in that past year. Where's the disparity come in? Why aren't we getting more? So I'm gonna go through a process that I've rolled out on the consulting side with a lot of my clients that have really helped move the needle on the review generation side. Oh shit.
There you go.
Let's get it.
You didn't have it plugged in the whole way.
Chill. Don't blame me. That's not my fault.
I'm just saying.
Optimal website structure. And some of this shit's gonna be boring, but I promise you it's super important, and if you take some of the stuff that you learn here and implement it in your business, it will certainly make an impact. If you wanna be found on the internet, you hear people talk about SEO. Anyone here, SEO, search engine optimization? Like, it's part of that everyday experience you were talking about, huh? The practice of SEO is implementing tactics to ultimately influence the results on the search engine page, saying, hey, if somebody searches for this, we want our website to show up. Foundationally, it starts with an optimal website structure, so we'll touch on that. We'll go over some DIY SEO opportunities, things that you guys can do within your companies to ultimately help influence that, whether you have an internal marketing agency, you have an external marketing agency, it doesn't matter. We'll make sure that you're touching on those things. Value of strategic alliances. This one is often overlooked, and I don't think it's intentionally, right? You're running a business, you're wearing a lot of hats, fucking bullets are flying, and the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Well, we meant to do this, this, and this, and then something went sideways on this project, so it required our attention. So laying down a framework as far as setting up those strategic alliances. And then we want to make sure that you guys don't end up with a nefarious actor in a marketing agency. They're not all bad. A lot of them are. In my experience, that's life in a capitalist society. I don't care if it's a doctor, an attorney, a marketing agency, you fill in the blank, and that's any type of industry. There's going to be people that just aren't good at what they do. There's going to be people that will intentionally mislead you for their financial gain. And then there'll be a few that are really good at what they do and won't do those things. And those are the type of strategic partners that you want. So we'll go over some of the questions that you can ask a prospective marketing agency to make sure that you're not the one in my DMs 2 years from now saying, I worked with this agency, I didn't know X, Y, and Z, because a lot of the times it's simply just having the knowledge, having a better understanding of what you can expect. And if you can get that information from an objective source instead of the salesperson who's trying to convince you to buy their product, most oftentimes than not, you're going to land in a much better situation. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Any questions? I mean, I'm going to need some more energy in here.
Yes, sir.
Can we get some cappuccinos? Okay, so first we'll start off with the Google Business Profile. And I just want to let you guys know, I did come in last minute, so while like brand and marketing, advertising isn't my area of expertise, this kind of looks like shit. And for that, I do sincerely apologize. But the information is good, I promise you. So common pitfalls with Google Business Profiles. Not keeping up your phone number, web address, things like that. That seems really intuitive, and you're probably thinking, well, how would that ever happen? I'll give you the most common example. You work with a marketing agency, things go sideways, you just decide that you grew apart, you decide to go with another marketing agency. If that marketing agency does not have in their offboarding process a disclosure about the call recording numbers that they were using, maybe they have a call recording number on your Google Business Profile to track performance. Oftentimes what will happen is you'll switch marketing agencies, those calls will be going to a dead number that's on your Google Business Profile. So all those customers that are trying to reach out to you, they can't find you, right? And when they do find you, they're calling a dead number that, we don't want that. Lack of services in appropriate industry categories, so like primary services, roofing contractors, secondary, siding, etc. Over-optimizing, so if you're running a roofing company, someone's probably in your DMs like, sir, madam, we can get you in the top 3 in Google, get you in the map section, we're gonna get you a ton of leads, it's gonna be fantastic. Pay me 99 bucks. First of all, don't pay them 99 bucks. That's gonna be my first piece of advice. But the second thing is, there's a lot of things that you can do to influence Google that are called black hat that can land you in a situation of hurt. They'll suspend your profile. You're shaking your head, you ever hear this? Yeah, it's a real problem. Because what also sucks is like typically when they take your Google Business Profile, all your reviews are gone, right? And it's associated with Google Local Service ads, Google Guaranteed, which can also be problematic. Can really reduce lead flow and bottleneck you. For the love of God, please, no one in this room buy fake reviews. The FTC just came down with their final ruling like a couple months ago as far as like enforcing purchasing fake reviews and misleading the market. So if you're gonna make a mistake, please let it not be that one. Moving on. So I can go here and I can kind of move through all these different slides, or I can pull up like a Google Business Profile and show you guys real time what I would do to it. Which do you prefer?
Real time.
Real time, let's get it. All right. When I ask questions, I need at least 5 people screaming, all right? All right, is anybody familiar with this screen, this command center for your Google Business? Yeah, fuck yeah, let's go. All right, so we're gonna click Edit Profile, stage 1, all right. So you got your primary services, your secondary, right? Make it exhaustive. Description, write a nice description. Like imagine like it's your elevator pitch to whoever's coming to your Google Business Profile. All right, make sure your phone number is correct. Website address is correct. You'll notice it's southshorecontractorstampa.com / and there's a UTM parameter. What that UTM parameter does is it allows you to track and differentiate people that are coming directly to your main website versus coming through your Google Business Profile. So being able to parse that out and have accurate data is really important. Social profiles. Any social profiles you have. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. We got a lot of TikTokers in here? No? No? Get on TikTok. My man Josh is on TikTok. Hey guys, I don't want to brag, but I went viral on TikTok once. All right, so look, it's not just 14-year-olds doing dances anymore. There's more and more adoption of that platform. And
40-year-old. You want to make sure they're check me out on TikTok.
Yeah. But here's the thing: if you're creating video content, YouTube Shorts is really powerful, Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, and if you're already putting it on those platforms, why not put it on TikTok as well? And if you're not putting it on those platforms, my question would be why not? It's great exposure. I've created like 1,300 YouTube videos. We get people all the time that message us about our videos, things that we're talking about, things that help actually help them within their business. And you never know what's going to motivate somebody to buy from you. I got a client, this is a funny story, this has nothing to do with this presentation, but we'll get back to it in a minute. I made a piece of content and I was talking about like being committed to a cause, right, grinding. And I had a flashback to when I was like 9 years old. I was always a fat kid and I played football. Every Saturday I was running to lose that extra 3 pounds. Early weigh-ins, I needed to eat, but I'm overweight. So this guy reaches out to me about 6 months after the fact and we go through our process and he's like, do you know why I chose you? I said, I have no idea why. He's like, because I was the kid with the garbage bag running before football weigh-ins on Saturdays. I was like, no shit. No shit. My guy Otis down in Atlanta, Georgia, Paramount. Fire.
Oh, talking about the boy Otis.
Yeah.
I love Otis.
That's my guy. He's coming up to Buffalo in 2 weeks. All right, service areas. So you can and should have 20 different service areas. I would encourage you to rank them as far as area of importance. Metro areas and then suburban communities. A lot of the times these aren't filled out. There's not 20 there. Hours of operation. 24 hours. Who here is 24 hours? When do you close?
5.
5 o'clock.
Our office anyway.
Yeah. So if I call you at 7 o'clock after Jimmy's done with basketball, what happens?
Leave a voicemail.
Leave a voicemail. Okay. I'm a big proponent based on my experience that every opportunity that's reaching out to you should be a live party contact. Because if you're handling a lot of repeats and referrals, you have trust in their eyes, right? They're going to have that inherent trust in you. They'll wait until 9 o'clock the next day for a call back. That guy that's like, I need a fucking roofer now because my wife won't leave me alone about it, right? He's not going back to her without a roofer, right? Without saying, at least I got one appointment scheduled. We want that opportunity. So what a lot of people will do is they'll have a call answering service, right? After 5, you want to shut down at 5 o'clock, spend time with family, get it. Have somebody answering the phone afterwards. And we'll get more into that in a couple minutes, but also overflow, right? If you're on a call, it rings 3 times, have a fail-safe as far as making sure somebody's getting an interaction with them. Super important, really fun stuff. You guys enjoying this yet or what?
Yes.
All right, fuck yeah. Reviews, 433 reviews. Who's got the most reviews in the room?
You gotta ask the numbers.
I want to see who thinks they have the most reviews. There's no wrong answer here, guys.
286.
286.
6. Going once.
222.
26. 26 going on the front row.
286, you're doing a great job. Be better. I'm just kidding. Great work, great work, great work.
How many stars are they though?
17.
Bro.
1.2.
So your services section, right? So this is where you're going to list a bunch of services, right? If we're on Google, we want to be found for services. It is probably a really good thing that we tell Google some of the services that we do. A lot of people don't know that this exists. Also, you can write a description for the services. Who wants to sit down on Saturday and write an exhaustive list of services and descriptions? Anybody? I expect it to be silent here. That's fine. No big deal. What I'd recommend, like this is where using AI, ChatGPT, something like that comes into play. It makes it extremely painless. Just make sure that you go through, write all your different services that you offer, make an exhaustive list, write the description. It's one time, it's a pain in the ass, but a lot of the times in marketing and advertising especially, it's the small details and the little tedious bullshit, doing those types of things consistently that will really make the difference as far as like that compounding snowball effect of the results that you'll get. So, products. So if you guys are, you got products that you're installing, same type of thing. So if we go to Atlas Shingles, product name, you can put a category, you can put a price if you want. A lot of people are divided on this. I don't want them to see the price. I want them to see the price. That's incumbent upon you to decide. It's the same thing like if you're using an instant roof quote. A lot of people get nervous about showcasing the price. For me, I love it, right? Because you can manipulate what the price is. You can make it your good option, your better option, your best option, and depending on how inundated or not inundated your sales team is, you can decide what price you're going to show, right? And if somebody's taking your good option, your lowest price that you could deliver a roof for, and they're sticker shock from it, you're probably saving you a lot of time, your salesperson time, and probably a lot of frustration. That's just my 2 cents. Description, write a description. And then you could also put a link to a product page, right? So if you have a website with a manufacturer page, link it back to that. That will help you. Questions, comments, concerns? No? All right, here we are. All right, so reviews. Who thinks they have the best process for reviews? Because I'm open to learning. I want to hear.
We have a good process.
Let's hear it.
So at the end of every job, we do a final walkthrough with the customer. We go around, make sure they're happy with everything. And if everything's been done to their satisfaction, we'll go ahead and right then and there say, hey, would you be interested in a $5 gift card for leaving us an honest review? We'll send them a link right there and have them leave their review before we leave the house. So
Yeah.
we try to get that done like right away, because 2 weeks go by, they forget about it. Or I'll do it later, send me the link,
Yeah.
I'll do it. But we have, no, hold your phone right now, let's do it.
Yeah, no, I absolutely love that. And that's very much in the vein of what we tell people to do as well is, road to hell's paved with good intentions. You do the best job for somebody, yeah, we'll get to it.
Just do it now.
And then they don't, right? And it's not because they don't want to. I can't tell you how many times I've walked out of a steakhouse, I'm like, fuck, that ribeye was delicious. Can't wait to leave them a review.
But the key is we don't ask for a 5-star, we just ask for an honest review.
Yeah.
If I buy you a cup of coffee, just leave an honest review. Because if I give you this thing and you give me a 5-star review, then that sounds like you're buying a good review. Whereas
Yeah.
I just say be honest,
Yeah, that's good. Does everybody here have a salesperson or a project manager that's doing some sort of quality control walkthrough with their customers at the end of the job? See a lot of nodding, yes, good. Okay, yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right. What's that?
Not on mine.
That stuff is super critical, and creating that sense of urgency is really important. Usually what I tell people is your sales team, your project managers, whoever is responsible for that final touch point with the customer, absolutely. Make sure that they have that link copied and pasted to the notes on their phone, right? So they have it readily available. As opposed to, okay, pull out your phone, I'll pull this up. It's kind of a pain in the ass. I usually tell them to ask them a few questions, right? Like, how was your experience? Like, I know you were super nervous about hiring someone for your roof. How did it unfold versus what you expected? Oh, you guys did a great job. It was fantastic. I'm really glad that you chose this color because the curb appeal when I pull up is absolutely amazing. Like, really good job. Get them fucking excited. People aren't excited about roofs, especially when they just spent 20 grand on it. So get them excited. And then from there, it's all right. We're gonna build on that norm of reciprocity, right? We're gonna buy the drink, let me come talk to you. All right, so I'm gonna do one more final walkthrough, make sure all the I's are dotted, T's are crossed, maybe hit it with a mag strip again, whatever. In the meantime, would you mind doing me a small favor? And if you ask them that question, it is key, because now you're gonna get them to commit to doing you a small favor after they've just told you how fantastic of a job you've done. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, great. I'm gonna share this link with you while I do this final walkthrough. Would you mind just sharing your experience? right? Everything you just told me, it really helps us as a small business in the local community. It means the world to us, our reputation. That's where we get the majority of our business. If you do that, you will get a review almost every single time. Because you create an expectation, you've reiterated the fact that you've done a great job for them, and that you're, again, going above and beyond for the sake of their home, their experience, right? You'd be hard pressed to find a situation where if you roll it out like that you're not gonna get that review on the spot. Questions? All right. Let's get back over here. Questions and answers. So you can actually put questions and then answer them, right? Good place to start here is talk to your sales team. What questions are they being asked? What objections are they getting from your customers? Talk about it, right? Answer them. That'd also be a really good spot to start as far as like content creation. Like if you guys want to start creating video, or you're kind of at a lull as far as like what you want to talk about, meet with the sales team. What are we most often getting met with as far as resistance for people purchasing our product? Is it price? Is it availability of a particular shingle? Whatever it is, that's a great opportunity to talk to the market as far as things that you guys could potentially capitalize on. And the same thing with your marketing and branding, right? Like using those objections that you're getting now and taking that pulse check, and then leveraging your marketing, your branding, your advertising to let people know, like, hey, this is how we deal with this. This is why you should choose us. This is why I'm the best roofer in Pittsburgh, right? I mean, does anyone here not want to be viewed as the best? All right, good, we're all on the same page then. I want to be the best. All right. How frequently do you guys post on social media? Good amount? Daily? Yeah. Are you posting on all platforms, or are there designated platforms you find more success with?
Personally, I use Instagram, but our team is on a variety of platforms.
Okay, yeah. One thing that I find, if like you're having issues struggling with like consistency, which it sounds like some of you aren't, you can use like a SEMrush social poster platform where you tie in all your different platforms together, and then you could build out a content schedule. Literally, if you're using AI and like downloading images from Company Cam, you can create a month's worth of content in an hour, right? Schedule it out to, hey, Monday I wanted to go out this time, Tuesday I want to go out this time. It'll hit your Google business profile, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever. And it really takes away from the pain and monotony of having to consistently log in. And I would say like that's like the fail safe, because now worst case scenario, we've got X amount of pieces of content going out, and then you could always shoot more content. You could always make more custom stuff that you want to put more time, energy, and effort in. But as a fail safe, that stuff's super important. Are you guys posting on your Google business profile? Show of hands, how many people post on their Google business profile? All right, we got one. All right, well, next time I come back here, if I do, I want to make sure that everyone's hands are up. Again, it's an algorithm, right? So what'll happen is as you make posts, there will be a carousel showing the different type of stuff that you guys are doing. Here we're highlighting a positive review from a customer. You'll talk about FAQs. You'll talk about recent projects that you've completed, showcasing that, hey, we used this shingle in this area that we just installed. Like I said, this is a great opportunity for ChatGPT. So create a Google business profile post for a new roof replacement where we installed an Atlas Storm Master Shake in Pittsburgh. There you go. It takes a matter of 7 seconds. You plug in a photo from Company Cam, ride off in the sunset, to the victor goes the spoils. You're welcome. All right, what's next? All right, managing your lead intake process. So we kind of touched on this as far as having an answering service. Guys, I would recommend having an answering service in place for a few different reasons. The importance of that first party contact, absolutely. Especially if you're starting investing in marketing and advertising, it's absolutely crucial. Nights and weekends, holidays, right, and overflow. If you've got somebody manning the phone and they're on the phone with a customer, you don't want them to feel rushed, right, when somebody else is calling in. And you don't want that other call not to get answered. So don't put them in that situation. Say, set up with a call answering service. After 3 rings, it's gonna go over to this person. So we know that it's already taken care of. Worst case scenario. You get out of it what you put into it. I've heard a lot of, I've talked to a lot of contractors, well over 1,000 I've worked with over the course of my career. I used an answering service, they sucked. All right, that's fair. What'd you guys do as far as like setting up them for success? Well, what do you mean? Well, what'd you do besides pay them? Oh, we didn't do anything. You didn't have a script? You didn't guide them through what you wanted the experience to be for the customer? Well, no, that's what I'm paying them for. It's the fucking wrong mentality, guys. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't care if it's an answering service, a marketing agency, it doesn't matter. Like, pay to make my problem go away is typically not going to be a viable solution to whatever it is that your problem is at that point. So think of it like this, like you have an ideal customer experience that you want people that are coming to you to experience, right? So let's educate the people, same way as if it's the person I'm training, my admin, on how I want the call answered, how I want the leads qualified, the information I want. Give that to the answering service. Like, give them an opportunity to succeed, right? Another opportunity that I typically see, even if we have all those boxes checked, would be getting them booked on that initial contact. So you can use things like Calendly, right? Where you give access to that call answering service, a Calendly link that ties in with all your sales reps, or just a general calendar, and they can book it on the spot for you, right? Worst case scenario, someone's got to call and reschedule. I'd rather have a fire to put out than no fire at all. But if you set it up systematically, getting that initial commitment is absolutely huge, because if I'm having a call answering service take my call and telling them, all right, someone will get back to you in the next 24 hours, they're fucking calling other people, right? And somebody else is gonna book them. And then by the time you get back to them in that 24 hours and you call and it's like, yeah, we're calling to schedule, yeah, I'm all set. That ever happen to anyone? Because that sucks. Let's not let that happen, all right? Let's be better. Fantastic. Any questions? Comments, concerns? Y'all throw tomatoes. I'm head movement. Let's go. Handling calls for competitors. Anyone get called for a competitor ever?
Calls from a competitor?
Yeah, for a competitor. Yeah, I'm looking for such and such, and they're calling your company. If you've ever done Google Ads, you've probably had this happen. Yeah? Yeah? Yeah. Some people get really upset by it. I see a lot of people have success with it. It really depends on the situational awareness of the person that's answering the phone. So, what do we got, Ireland? Yeah, is this ABC Roofing? No, this is Ireland. Okay, click, right? Let's not handle it that way. Is this ABC Roofing? This is Ireland. Do you need someone to inspect your roof today? Yeah. Usually it's a better quality lead because we already know that the intent's there. Caveat to that, sometimes it'll be a warranty call where you kindly wish them the best, send them on their way. But a lot of the times it's somebody that's further down the buying funnel, right? They're bottom funnel, ready to make a purchase decision. And now all we got to do is slide in and get the opportunity to intervene and get boots on the ground over there. So having that situational awareness, training your team, your answering service to be aware of that is very, very helpful. I need a volunteer. We're going to talk about websites. Who wants to volunteer? Someone's going to come up here. All right, so here, anyone know what this is?
Manual.
It's a manual. Oh yeah. A lot of fucking pages in this thing. Anyone ever thumb through one of these leisurely? No? I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun. So if I need to find something about oil for my car, how would I go about doing it here?
Front page, probably says oil on it. Scroll through it, find it.
So?
No?
No, I don't think so. Well, maybe. Let's take a look. Yeah. How would you do it? Go to the back. So we got an index in the back, right? Some may be in the front, some may be in the back, so maybe that's a poor example. And for that, that's my fault. I'm sorry. But as you can see, he's thumbing through and you're finding what, right? You're looking, it's alphabetically organized. It's very intuitive once you get there. Where do I look for what I need to find? Did you find it?
Yeah.
What page is it on?
We got multiple pages, 572, 518 to 576.
So there's oil and then there's subcategories of oil. Probably things like oil pressure, oil change, things like that, right? To help guide your experience to easily find the information that you're looking for. It's all fucking Google's trying to do, guys, right? And if you can make it easier for them, you're gonna be really happy that you did. Because yes, it's really important to give your end consumer, your prospect, that type of experience where it's easy to find, but if Google can't find it, they're never gonna find it, so it doesn't matter. All right, so thank you. You were a great volunteer. I appreciate your time. Yeah.
You get a hat.
You get a hat. You get a hat. You get a hat.
I get a gift card.
So a lot of times I'll see websites and they'll say, residential roofing, and it'll be 17 syllables about roof storm damage, about roof inspection, about roof repair, no mentions of the material, and it's kind of all just vomited on one page, right? Which makes it really hard as a search engine to find relevant information when somebody is like, roof inspection near me, because it kind of gets lost in the sauce, so to speak. But I'll show you an example. So this is a client that we just did a website for in San Antonio. So if we go over residential roofing, we've got materials, right? Now we've got all the different materials that we offer. Then we've got all the different residential roofing services that we provide, right? If we go into roof inspection, you're gonna find a contact form. Got his brand. I love his brand, by the way. We're gonna talk about things that are pertinent to roof inspection. We're gonna showcase his reviews, his happy customers, all these things, which is absolutely critical because you're doing it across all your different services and it's very contextually relevant, it's very honed in, and it's a curated experience, which makes it more likely that you're gonna be found for what people are looking for. Does that make sense to everybody? Everybody's website got individual pages of content for all the things that they do and offer. All right, let's get there together one of these days. Emergency services, structures, service area pages, creating roofing content specifically for different service areas that you offer. A lot of the times what you're gonna do is, as you start actively doing SEO, this should be a core focus for the marketing agency that you're working with. If you've got 100 different areas that you service, okay, let's do it by county first, right? And then do sub pages for the different towns within those counties, right? So it's very easy and people aren't trying to go through 100 different pages to find exactly what they're looking for. Does that make sense to everybody? All right, scale 1 to 10.
Is that still the case?
Oh yeah,
County?
yeah. So that's more for user experience, right? Because if I just have 100 towns thrown on a page of content that are clickable, it's very hard to find exactly what I'm looking for.
Yeah, but when you do purchase SEO now, like here, and when I sold websites in SEO, SEM, like 7, 8 years ago.
Yeah.
That's when I came into what I'm doing now. I was told by a couple SEO companies that I researched it. Like we used to like Allegheny County or Westmoreland, right? You can't do that anymore. You actually have to list like Glen Shaw, different areas of Foxtrot. You can't do counties anymore.
Yeah.
It's not like that. Google doesn't recognize it. It wants you to do individual areas.
So again, it's for the user experience and the ease of access as far as finding information. So it's not in place of the towns. So if you're doing Allegheny County, all your towns, your cities within Allegheny County should still have an individual page of content under the umbrella of Allegheny County, right? Because otherwise, if we've got 6 different counties we service and we've got 175 different areas, it's much more overwhelming to a user. And what you'll see, like we do screen recordings of every session that we have for every client. So like if you see a type of situation, you could tell when somebody gets overwhelmed, they'll just bounce right off the page, right? And obviously we want to keep dwell time as high as possible as far as them staying on site. So that's just one way to be very robust and in depth and at the same time not lose people.
Did you say y'all do screen recordings for y'all clients?
Yeah.
Like when people come to their website?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's pretty dope.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's, intuition's great as far as changes that we want to make, evolve, and be better. But at the same time, if we can use leading KPIs on like Google Ads, SEO, and then we could use the actual experience that people are engaging in real time, that's much more impactful than saying, well, I think, my hunch is, right? So that's why we do it. All right, so what can you do to help your SEO? So if you hired me today, which you can't, but if you did, I'm capped out in Pittsburgh. I'm sorry, guys. If you hired me today, there's going to be a lot of things that we're going to do to help influence your ranking on Google, right? Our client here right now, I think gets around 45,000 people a month to their website. There's also things that we can't necessarily do, right? So for some things, you're going to need a domain-based email. So what's your name, brother? Jimmy at IrelandRoofing.com, right? Hypothetically, that's the domain. Close. All right, well, we're playing horseshoes here, all right? So a lot of times, like if you're reaching out to like builders associations, local schools that you guys do sponsorships for, if you're not, you should be. And if you are, you have to do it from a domain-based email, because if Mike from Ascend Digital Experts reach out, like, fuck this guy, this is spam, right? The likelihood that you get the opportunity to create a profile, get a backlink from their website to yours is much smaller, right? So these are just some ideas that I popped up here for you guys as far as different opportunities to get those local backlinks. And all a backlink is somebody's website promoting your website. It's one of those hyperlinks, those blue clickable links that sends traffic back to your site. That with content are the two driving forces for SEO. It's much more nuanced than that as far as how you write content, how you do keyword research, and how you ultimately decide what you're gonna write, how robust it has to be, and what links you're gonna pursue, how you're gonna acquire those links. But these are some layups, if anyone likes basketball here. Ironically, I fucking suck at layups. I'll knock down a deep three ball, but I can't make a layup. I don't understand why. It's never been my thing. But these are some great opportunities for local SEO to give you guys some more increased visibility. Any of you guys doing any of this stuff presently? Or have you done in the past? Yeah? Fuck yeah, love it. Strategic alliances. It's all about the strategic alliances. So, we've got, how many roofers here today? How many roofing companies do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 12, 11, 12, something like that. You guys are all in competition, so to speak. How important are relationships in general to the success that you've found in business thus far?
It's everything. Very important.
Yeah, really important, right? What are some of the best relationships that you guys have forged as far as like getting yourself more business? Mr. Malik?
Just a lot of roofing companies.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Different trades.
Love that.
Insurance agents.
Insurance agents,
Brokers.
property management companies. Yep. Yeah.
I just say knowledge is power, and when you're able to, collaborate with other roofing companies, you know what's going on.
Yeah.
It's a little bit better.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think creating those types of situation best positions us for one of those win-win scenarios where everybody's winning, right? And those are the best deals, when everybody wins. As far as like other trades, like adjacent verticals, you guys are roofing contractors, different painting contractors, foundation contractors, landscapes, like these folks are all selling the same customer as you, right? And they're likely seeing that customer a lot more times, especially like a landscaper, right? Or pool service company in the summertime. Not so much right now, it's kind of chilly out. Well, today's a nice day actually. But there's such opportunity in being intentional about creating more of these strategic alliances with these other types of contractors, letting them know how they can help you, showing you how you can help them, and consistently doing it. A lot of times what happens is you have one meeting with a contractor, you guys talk about it over lunch, dinner, drinks, whatever. It goes great, it's a really good time, and then it fucking dies on the table. Nothing comes of it. Nobody thinks about it again. 8 months later, you run into each other, oh, we should grab lunch again. You talk about it again, guess what? Nothing happens. So you have to approach it with a level of conviction and intentionality. And if you get 6, 7, 8, 9 of these different relationships going, it could be massively impactful to your company. Anyone here a part of like local Facebook groups in the towns that they service? Yeah. How's that work for you? You guys get leads? Okay.
It's really just for like questions, like, hey, what kind of shingles this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's great for brand though, right? We want to position ourselves as an authority in the market when it comes to roofing. So if we're there not only just to force sales down your throat, but actually to help you in the community, like that's super powerful. And it's meaningful to that one person for the question that you answer, but if there's 12,000 people in that group, it's also meaningful to the other people that are saying nothing. So that's a really great opportunity for branding. I always encourage people, find all those different Facebook groups that you can. There's, if there's one person a week, 3 people a day, it doesn't matter. There's going to be people that are going to be asking questions that are ultimately going to give you guys a way to interact with your community in a very meaningful way. And a lot of the times the byproduct of that, whether it's a direct causal relationship or a loose correlation, will be you will get more business because of it. And if you guys are doing that consistently, you get your sales team to do it, you create an ecosystem where somebody comes into that group a year from now and they search roofing or roofing contractor, and they see your name hammered 50, 60 times, like you're gonna get that call. And these things happen. I know that they happen. Mr. Malik, you reached out to me before. Why did you reach out to me?
I know a couple people you work with, and I see the results.
Yep. The only reason I work with the people he knows is because they went into a local Facebook, well, not a local, a national Facebook group where there's a bunch of roofing contractors where they had saw clients tag about what we did for them. They told a story. I tell everyone when we start, I've got 2 expectations. After we do what we say we're gonna do for you and we knock it out of the park, your credit card needs to clear. And when people ask about websites, SEO, ads, or roofing marketing related things, I just expect that you would share your experience. Nothing more, nothing less. Like an honest assessment of what we've done. Because of that, we get people that reach out all the time. Just like 3-4 weeks ago, I had somebody reach out from a post that was out there 2 years ago. They went into, I think it's Roofer and Solar Community Group, and searched SEO, and they saw our name a bunch of times, right? So these things are evergreen. They stay there forever. So if we can make a process that where we're consistently being mentioned and we're getting that exposure, it's absolutely crucial, and it will make a monumental impact in your business over the long term. Especially when the market constricts, leads slow down, sales reps get finicky, it gives us a higher floor, right? I love a high ceiling, but in those times, having a high floor, it feels like a really safe place, right? When things die down, so we want to do that. I've got about 50 questions that you could ask a marketing company. So like if you guys want to take like screenshots or things like that, is anybody eventually here going to be looking for a new marketing agency? I've got nothing to sell you, like I said. I'm just curious. Or is everybody content with what they're doing? We got one? Okay. If you want to connect with me afterwards too, I can shoot you like a PDF of it. But again, a lot of the times when we're making purchasing decisions around marketing and advertising and we don't know enough about it, it leaves us vulnerable to, like I said, people that intentionally or unintentionally will mislead us or just not talk about things. So like, will you own your website? Will you own your domain? If you're buying a website, how many pages of content come with it? What's the charge if I need to add more pages? Like creating some framework as far as like responsibility and expectation. Anyone know what Google Analytics is? Okay, we got it on hand. Google Analytics, it's going to give you a bunch of information about people that are coming to your website, where they're going, what they're doing, how much time they're spending there. How about Google Search Console? All right, you guys, your homework for today is you figure out what Google Search Console is and then you email me and tell me all about it. I'm serious. All right, fantastic. Those are some really important ones when it comes to like a website. There's also ones that you're going to want for Google Ads, right? So if you're having somebody run your Google Ads, number one, are they running it through an agency account that you won't own, or are they running it out of your ad account? 2 distinctly different things, right? If they're running it out of an agency account, what happens is if you ever decide to leave, the likelihood you get to keep your data is like the fucking closest thing to zero that's not zero. And we don't want you guys in that position. You don't want to be in a situation where you've paid for years of data collection that are ultimately going to help you hone in your target, lower your cost per lead on Google Ads, and then one day have it all go away. So that's a super important question to ask. Now, if they run it through an agency account and you're still considering working with them, which that's fine, some good agencies will do that, they may transfer it to you at the end. So like ask what it looks like if you decide to divest from their company. What's that going to look like? What does the breakup look like? You just going to break up with me via text and we're never going to talk again? That'd be super sad. What's your expected cost per lead? Like if I'm paying you for an ad service, is there an expectation that you can give me as far as what I can get out of it? These things are fluid and you should digest that information as such, but having them know their numbers should increase your confidence, but you shouldn't take it at face value. Ask them to show you some data of a current client that they're working with that can actually show you that they're fulfilling that expected cost per lead, right? Because I can tell you, hey, I'll get you a lead for 47 bucks. You want to sign? Sign here. Take that credit card now. Doesn't mean that I can do it. So trust but verify. I find that that's usually a pretty good vantage point to take. SEO, I'm not going to bore you guys with all that stuff. There's a few really good nuggets in here though. And there's exceptions to this. Not every generalist is not good at all the things that they do. But I'll tell you what, if I go to my doctor and I've got an issue with my heart, my treatment plan is going to be with a cardiologist. It's not going to be with my primary care physician. Why? Because they specialize and have much more exposure and experience in more intricate and problematic issues with something that's very, very important to me, which is my heart. I mean, I joke around and call myself heartless. I'm not entirely dead inside, guys. It's okay. So ask them, like, what does their agency layout look like? You know, do you work with 10 different types of verticals? Are you specific to one? So that you can kind of gauge how confident you should be or what type of expectations you could have, and then ask them to see, you know, results for that vertical. How many clients will an individual campaign manager be responsible for? This is important. If you've got one person handling 300 different campaigns, how much time does that leave them on a daily basis to make sure that your campaign's performing? And if they detect that it's not performing, how much time do they have to actually implement anything meaningful to change that, right? So this is really good information to have prior to signing that 12-month contract and deciding to give them your credit card. Just saying. 3 current clients. Preferably one that recently signed, one that's been with them for around a year, one that's 2 years or more. I see all the time, somebody signs with a marketing agency, they're on every platform possible, talking about how fantastic they are, that's fucking great. And then 6 months later, they can't say enough bad things about them. There's a honeymoon phase. People are excited, they got sold, it's fine. So that's why I always say, like, you know, use a spectrum as far as like time served with that marketing company. And the most important one, ask to speak to a former client. Let's see how that divorce went. Were things amicable? Huh? Or was it terrible? If you can get them to give you a former client that you speak with, and they talk about the transition being, you know, as painless as it could be, that's usually a pretty good vote of confidence and indication that you're dealing with a decent company, at least one that operates with integrity. And if you do all this, click the link below to subscribe to my course. There's not a course, guys, I'm kidding. Fucking tough crowd, Jesus. Q&A, let it rip. What do you guys got?
I got one for you.
Yeah.
So the new thing with that I've learned coming back into this is not to Google Ads, but I didn't bring my notebook because the general manager asked, do I need my stuff? And he said no. Yeah, I did. The things that show up on the top of the page look organic. You can't go to the website from there.
Local service ads.
What is it?
Local service ads.
Local service ads. So doing what you do, what's the effectiveness of those opposed to Google Ads?
Oh, it's fucking fantastic. Best thing to ever happen to contractors. Now, I will, you know, elaborate on that. So the benefit is fixed cost per lead, pretty easy to dispute. It's nowhere near as convoluted as Google Ads. You go into a Google ad platform and you look at an account, it's like, holy fuck, right? If you turn on like the expert mode where you can actually do things to influence outcomes, it's a son of a bitch. You go into local service ads, it's really simple. Like, how much do you want to spend a week? How much you willing to give us per lead? Update your photo here, put this there, very simple. That's the pro. The con is, there's very little that you can do to influence. So, and I was just talking to Mr. Malik about this earlier. You can do everything right, fill out, you know, I've got an insatiable appetite. I'll give you guys $1 million a week and we'll pay $1,000 a lead because $1,000 is the most they'll let you put in there. And you might still land number 9, right? And at that point,
From what I understand, it rotates.
it does and it doesn't. One of the benefits of you guys being listed as 24 hours is that if you have a close time of, let's say, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, you're automatically, even if you're at the top, you're going to go towards the bottom.
Right, because I saw one, they were buried. Like there's one, they're on there, but you can't see.
Yeah.
Extend, no one's going to extend them unless it's
Right.
specific.
Yeah. Looking at budget, you could do, and I would say, just like anything else, test it out, right? If you're doing a custom budget, put in a custom dollar amount, custom cost per lead, I'll pay $1,000 per lead. There's also an option to let Google suss that out for you. In some cases, it works better to let Google do it. In some cases, it works better to go custom with it. What I'll tell you is that, like, if you get positioned and you start getting leads, making sure that you're consistently dispositioning within Google's platform, their local service platform, is really important. A lot of people don't know there's actually a separate review link that you can create for Google Local Services, where you'll get a review that won't show up on Google Business Profile, but it'll show up on your LSA account, which is super important. There was recently, there was a wave of people getting their Google Business Profile suspended for our shit got suspended. I'm like, I'm a fucking marketing agency. Why are you guys taking my shit down? We don't do anything other than buy the book. Just happened, right? Got it back up, no problem. But if you have at least 5 reviews on Google Local Service Ads platform, and your Google Business Profile gets suspended, your Google Local Service Ads will still be active while the business profile is down, which can be absolutely critical. I would say one of the biggest missed opportunities as it relates to Google Guaranteed or Google Local Service ads is using it for branding. Like Google holds weight. It's got credibility with your homeowners, right? So this should be on every piece of collateral, marketing, branding that we're doing, whether it's door hangers, it's yard signs, it's our truck wraps. And you guys should be talking with your homeowners about this, like shining a light on it. Like, do you know what this check mark means? Well, it means that, Google actually, they did a background check on us. They verify our license and our insurance consistently to make sure that you're protected. They guarantee our work up to $2,500. That's how much confidence Google has with us doing work for you. And that's powerful. And nobody does it. I mean, I work with companies that do 20, 30 million. They don't talk about it. They're like, that's great, Mike. Well, yeah, we'll get right on it. And they don't do it. And it's fine, but it's my job to bring you the facts. And factually speaking, if I ran a roofing company, that would be a part of every single conversation that I have. What else we got? No more questions? Comments? Concerns? Rotten tomatoes? Scale 1 to 10, how helpful is this? 1 being the least helpful, 10 being so helpful. 10 out of 10? All right, well, guys, make sure you scan the link and leave me a Google review. Hey.